morning, middle school students. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good, all right. So, as you all know, recently in advisor class, we have been going through different things that might happen in your middle school lives that could cause issues, that could take away from being productive in your classes, being successful in sports, things like that. So, today what we're going to be talking about is stress and how to manage that in a healthy way, because as middle school students, it's inevitable that you will feel stress in some way or another. Alright? So, we have an essential question. What I would like you guys to be thinking about and try to answer by the end of this lecture is, what are some healthy ways for us to deal and cope with stress? And then our learning objectives for today are, hopefully, you will be able to identify stressors that are present in your lives, and then also be able to identify healthy methods for dealing with those stressors. Okay? So, I'd like to ask you a question. Do you guys think that everybody deals with stress in the same way? Raise your hand if you think that people deal with stress, like everyone deals with stress in the exact same way. How about, do you think that people deal with stress differently? Wow, okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. So Ellie, why do you think that people deal with stress differently?
People have different personalities, and I just feel like different things make others stress out.
Yeah.
And some don't.
Yeah, and actually that's exactly what I was thinking too. I think what stresses Kelsey out might not stress you out, okay? So for that reason, everybody has their own definition of stress, all right? So I'm going to give you a minute here to go on the top of your survey and answer this question. How do you define stress? Personally, okay? So how do you define stress? There's no right or wrong answers here. This is all personal preference, personal opinion. Alright, we'll take about 10 more seconds to do that. Alright, so hold on to your sheets there. So everyone is probably going to have a very different definition of stress throughout the room. Okay? So what I did is I took the actual Merriam-Webster definition of stress and I put it up on the board here. So Merriam-Webster defines stress as a noun that is a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or very demanding circumstances. Okay? So if we pick apart this definition, we're going to see mental or emotional strain, tension resulting from adverse or very demanding circumstances. Basically that definition stresses me out just reading it, and all of the words sort of portray a very dark and dreary picture. Okay? So, with that being said, if we look at the definition, we're going to think that some of the effects of stress are going to be negative and not good, just like the definition itself. Okay? So, I'm going to go through some of the harmful effects that stress can have on you as a student. Alright? So first, there's physical effects, and these are all the harmful physical effects of stress. So headaches, upset stomach, heightened blood pressure, chest pain, problem sleeping. Okay? Those are all just physical attributes that can happen to you by having stress. Some of the emotional and behavioral characteristics that can occur due to stress are anxiety, restlessness, lack of motivation, anger, sadness, depression, social withdrawal. Okay? So these are all of the harmful things that can occur to you by experiencing great amounts of stress. Alright? So as we discussed earlier, everybody has their own definition of stress. Alright? And you guys all decided that everyone views stress differently. Okay? So, similar to that, I'm going to assume that we can agree that everybody deals with stress in a different manner. Right? Not everyone is going to have their the exact same ways of coping with stress. Okay? But what we need to keep in mind is that there are unhealthy methods of dealing with stress, and there are healthy methods of dealing with stress. Okay? So, some of the unhealthy ways that people relieve their stress might be drinking, smoking, overeating, overspending, and all those right there. Essentially what you're doing right there is you're taking the bad behavior of stress and you're replacing it with something that's even worse that's going to cause more stress in your life. Okay? So just to sort of clarify that. And then, there's consuming too much caffeine. Raise your hand if you like coffee. Okay? Yeah, I do too. And it's okay to have a cup or two every now and then, but to rely on it can actually cause stress in your body. Ignoring the stressor, becoming a sloth, or just laying around all day and not, being productive towards acting on your stress, that can actually not only heighten your stress, but result in depression, low self-esteem, and things of that nature. Okay? So, with that being said, we have healthy methods of dealing with stress. Okay? And I'll kind of keep a mental note of some of these because you're going to need them later on for our activity, okay? Or just a general idea of what some of these are. So, we've got moving your body, or being active with exercise, being social, identifying and avoiding the stressor. Now, to clarify, that is different than ignoring the stressor because when you're identifying it, you're actually making it known that that stressor is there and you're not living in a state of denial, okay? Accepting what cannot be changed, making time for fun activities, and developing a healthy lifestyle, so like eating healthy foods, not putting unhealthy things in your body, etc. And also setting goals. Because when you set goals, then you might have stress during those times of like trying to accomplish those goals, but there's also a light at the end of the tunnel. So that can really help with dealing with some of the stress that you might be feeling. Okay? Alright, so that's some information about stress to sort of help us with this activity that we're going to segue into now. So, what you have in front of you, now each of you is sitting next to someone. I'd like that to be a partner. So we have, let's see, where's group 1? Group 1, where's group 2? 2, 3, and 4. Excellent. Okay. So each partnership has a given situation in front of them. It's a situation that makes you feel blank. It might be sad, mad, whatever. So what I'd like you with your partner to do is respond to that and come up with an example of a situation that makes you feel that way. Okay? And I'm going to give you a little short amount of time to do that, and when we're done, we're going to move on with the rest of our instructions about the activity. Alright? So we'll give you some time to do that as a partnership.
Situations that take too much time. Yes.
What do you guys have here for yours?
We have unorganized and unplanned because we both like angry.
Yeah, okay, I gotcha. So then you guys have something that makes you mad or angry. Yeah. Especially like when something pops up that's unexpected. I can see how that could throw everything off and be stressful for you. Right, okay, cool. What do you guys have over here?
Situation that takes too long. Time we said homework.
Yeah.
And it's possible anxiety. So
Especially like maybe if it's something that you feel like is pointless or...
yeah.
I gotcha. Excellent. Okay, cool. We got group 3 back here. How's everything going for you? So you guys have, makes you sad?
Yeah. Is that when you do bad on an assignment or test?
Oh yeah. Because that can feel like personal, right? You can take that almost personally. Yeah, okay. What do you guys have over here?
Frustrated and annoyed.
Yeah, okay.
When people don't listen to your opinion.
Yeah, that's a great one. And that's a little different. They have, I think, mad. You guys have frustrated because that can just kind of nip at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sweet. Alright. Okay, we'll give you about 10 to 15 seconds to finish that up, and then I'll move on with the instructions. Alright, so everybody has responded to that situation there. Now what I'd like you to do is, underneath the situation, you'll see that there's 3 different spaces for writing, okay? So what you're going to be doing is 3 times, you're going to be rotating to the group next to you and coming up with healthy solutions for how that group might deal with that certain situation that they responded to on that piece of paper, okay? So when you guys rotate there, for instance, you're going to be answering Kendra and Julia's response of like a situation that gets them frustrated and annoyed. You're going to come up with, on that set of lines, the first set of lines, like some possible healthy solutions to that situation, okay? And you're going to rotate 3 times and answer that for each of the different groups in the classroom. Okay? So, why don't we have you rotate and go to that group next to you, and I'll give you about a minute at each station to come up with some possible healthy solutions for that. So leave that paper there and rotate, and I'll tell you when to rotate next, alright?
This is the best, yes.
Okay. Just organize.
Do you guys remember some of those? Okay.
What makes us mad or frustrated is the end of us.
Yeah, I saw that. So talk it out, that's a good one. Like communication. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, time.
Okay. And just a reminder, these don't have to be the ones that I had up on the board. They can be something that you yourself thought of as a possible healthy solution. Alright? Do you guys remember some of those ones that we talked about earlier?
We just said organize your time.
Perfect. Yeah, that's kind of similar to actually what that group next to you had. Good. Alright.
We got over here. It takes too much time. When we're talking about homework,
We talked about like planning ahead.
Okay.
or
Okay.
from a teacher or a friend or anything.
Perfect. Alright, we'll give you about another 10 to 15 seconds, and then I'm going to have you rotate again to the next group. Alright, looks like we're good to rotate to the next group, and we'll come up with some more healthy situations, or healthy solutions for that
When people
situation.
didn't listen to your opinion, they talked about communicate, stay positive.
Did you guys remember some of those solutions that we talked about earlier? Yeah? Alright.
Ask for help in the situation.
Yeah, some sort of.
For help.
Identify you with that.
From person
You could
who
make
is
a
worse.
schedule.
Yeah.
I would
Figure
say
out when
to
you're
help
gonna
relieve
do
like
your
that
homework.
anger or something, have some,
Try and
some help with it.
That's really good, so like be organized basically and proactive with that, yeah. Yeah, that's great. Good answer, Kendra.
Thanks. Shake it off.
What was the
This is the
second one?
mad and angry group. Yeah, good planner.
And also like workout and stuff to help relieve like the physical stress or physical anger and
Yeah,
stuff
Yeah.
that kind of present itself.
sure. I'm noticing a lot of thoughts about organization. That's great. That'll definitely help you in a lot of your classes. And that'll really be able to help you in high school too when you're taking even more classes. So,
Make us sad and we do that on the test.
Her.
Identify you did bad and then.
I like your shirt.
to shake it
It's
off.
so
Yeah.
fancy.
okay. Great.
I like it. It's fancy.
All right, another 10 or 15 seconds and we'll rotate one more time. Oh, looks like everyone's done. All right, we can rotate now.
Okay, this says, just when you do that on the assignment test, you will identify the problem that touched someone, make sure you're clear, identify you do that. Maybe this like, or like, he was like in the thing that was like, oh, if you can't change the past kind of thing, so like another like let it go, just try and do better next time kind of a thing.
So like, stay calm.
See you guys writing about staying calm over here. I know that stress can sometimes make us like jittery and like anxious about things, and that's good to just, if you have that in mind that you intentionally want to stay calm, that can really help with some of those situations. Yeah.
If they got a better score.
All right, just a little bit more time, and then we're going to rotate back to our original groups. All right, so everyone can go back to their original spots where they came from. Now, in front of you, on your piece of paper, you're going to see that each group has provided possible solutions to this stressful situation that you might encounter. Now what I'd like you to do is, on your own, on the lower half of your survey, I'd like you to write down what your favorite healthy stress reliever strategy that you found, that you got from the other groups is. And I'd like you to write one sentence as to why that's your favorite stress relieving strategy. Okay? So hopefully these strategies that you're going to read about and that we also went over in class today will be able to trickle into your work like in school and in other classes and really just help to relieve the stress that you might feel as middle school students. Because let's be honest, you guys have sports, relationships, school, everything that you're trying to keep track of. So hopefully some of these strategies that you learned today will help with some of those stressors that you might be feeling in your lives. Alright? So I'll let you get to work, and when you get done with that, you can just pass those up front, and I'll kind of just take a peek at them after you leave class today. So, alright.